It's new set day, so what, 3 and a bit pages to read through. Always great fun. Most of this I'm not even going to use. I don't even know if there's any point going through all the blue shit. Not really anything for me, but still not a bad card, I don't think. Oh, okay, I understand that. Sorry, I thought the cleave part added that bit in for some reason. I'm fucking retarded. I can see that being used a fair bit, to be honest. I can see it being used, but once again, nothing for me. Could be interesting, but you see, because my deck is life gain, so it would make sense to add this. But you know what's the point? The entire point of the deck is life gain. The entire point is to not need to worry about blocking shit. You know, if I have 1,000 health, what's the point in blocking something, you know? Sure, damage is damage, but it'd take 100 turns to get through it. Right, okay. Right, that's... that could be interesting. That would be a bitch to play against, but let's be honest, most people are going to have some sort of removal, hopefully. Unless you're me, in which case you just don't. Okay. Would be alright with the Nexus, but once again, it's not really playing into life gain or anything, so. The other side is, yeah, nothing interesting. God, I fucking hate new sets, man. It takes so long to read them. I mean, that's a kind of... Fuck off, Windows. Kind of dangerous. But, you know, once again, nothing for me, which is probably going to be the entire set. I'm not really sure if there's anything that I would actually consider adding to the deck. You know, if I just don't know what I'd sort of, you know, there's not really any gaps that I can see, honestly. Unless it's just an objectively better version of something I already have, but I'm just not sure we're gonna see it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not terrible. I will say I'm only going through the rares and mythics because fuck commons and uncommons. You know, most of them are going to be pretty boring anyway. That's just an objectively worse inspiring commander. Sure, it's half the price, but it's less than half as good. Admittedly, early game draw. Arguably more important than later game, but I would have to sacrifice something that's probably more useful to fit it into the deck than that, so... This could be interesting, I just wanted to see. Yeah, it's a 7 mana thing. I forgot to look at how much it cost. I just sort of reading this exile a card from a graveyard, I thought, you know, you've got to cast it from the graveyard, how long do you have between? We're never going to get 7 or more enchantments, let's be honest. So there seems to be a fair bit of spirit combo in here, but... Yeah, this is one of the few cards I saw before. I guess it's better than a Kaya's Wrath. I mean, you lose out on a bit of life gain, but if you're playing white and don't have any life gain anyway, then you're probably doing something wrong. And if you've got a board advantage, you keep the board advantage at least slightly. You're not getting rid of everything, but I don't really think that's going to be something I need to worry about. We don't really get any +1/1 counters, and I mean, we don't really get any angel combinations, and once again, blockers, especially if I'm playing a 6 mana card, blocking shouldn't really be something I'm worrying about. So on to blue, something that second least used colour, second only to red. A free card. Yeah, once again for 6 mana though is the thing. I don't know. It no, it's not really, is it? It would just be easier to make tokens or something. You know, because it's from my graveyard. It would just be easier to make tokens of things of it before it goes to the graveyard, probably. Or just Aerial Armaeum. We don't really have that many activated abilities that are too useful anyway, so. Not really useful, is it? It's not giving you any sort of discount or anything. It's essentially just a really shit draw card. With a bit of exile from a graveyard, but not really something I'd be super worried about. I mean, they're probably all gonna get some use, but just nothing for us. I mean, it's not terrible, but we don't really have any sacrifice combinations, so. Three mana for 3 cards is pretty decent. Having a smaller maximum hand size is easily countered. There's plenty of lands that can do that for you, and a few other things. Shit like this and this obviously going to go together pretty well, as well as this, you know, all of the spirit things that are going on. Where is it? Something. But yeah, it seems like it could be decent. It could be pretty good for us, because we know a lot of things, you know, just a lot of creatures in general, but if we're paying, what, 9 mana for draw, it'd be incredibly situational, and I just don't think it's worth it. Yep, I fucking despise cards like that. At least it's each player and not just fucking Rove's Rebuke, which is possibly one of the most annoying cards in the game. Another Mimic type thing, but the other one will always be better because it can copy legendary shit. I mean, could be interesting. You know, it's essentially, it's a bit like Helma Host, but not quite. It's a more fragile Helma Host, but one that, because we don't have a lot of mill in our deck, self-mill. So it would cut out the actually playing Helmler Host, that 4 mana. But it just seems a lot more fragile. Could be interesting with the Nexus, but it's just too situational. Right. Essentially a counterspell where you have to sacrifice a creature. Once again, nothing for us, but I'm sure it's gonna see some use. I'm sure I'm gonna fucking hate it by the end of the week. Which is like 2 days, so... Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be annoying, but... not really much to say about it. I don't know. Maybe in some situations, but just I like the artwork is about all I like about that card, to be honest. The exploit things seem a bit weak, making someone discard a card and draw one. Sorry, not this one. A counter spell. I mean, sure you get 3/3 out of it, but they just seem a bit lackluster, to be honest. Especially because it's a one-time thing as well. No, you're not gonna show me. I want more information about the card. Oh, there we go. 1 mana for a cycle, essentially. Could be alright. Obviously, it's gonna get a lot of combos and shit. It's fairly decent. I mean, it is only 1 though. And it doesn't trigger any entering the battlefield things either. Could be interesting for us, because obviously if we're searching for a particular card, say, and it's like, fuck all. Whereas a normal 60 card deck, you're exiling a fair bit. With us, it's just not that important. I wonder why it's 13, because we saw 13 as well here. Maybe we're gonna see 3 more of them. Yeah. Once again, it's just that it triggers once a turn. Just not very good. Yeah, I'm still not really feeling it. Once again, it could be interesting with Nexus, but it's still not. Could be annoying to play against, because obviously all of ours are going to be very low token creatures and shit, so they're going to get fucked over with that. That could be really annoying if we're running a fuckload of anointed processions, but it does have trample as well, which is going to be a cunt to deal with. Yeah, I just don't really have much to say. Sorry, is this fucking artwork? Okay. The artwork on this looks like a fucking photo. That's some fucking amazing art, but as for the card, more 13s. Why didn't they release it tomorrow? Why did they... So there's a theme of 13s in the deck. Why did they release it today? On the 12th? And not tomorrow? On the 13th? I just wanna... They have, haven't they? 6, 10, 13. What's a full row again? 9. 9, 4, 13. Right. 5, 10, 12, okay. 2, 11, 14, 2, 11, 12. Okay, it must just be an actual coincidence then, that the first one I look at and the first one of the set both have 13 cards in them. As for the actual thing, where was it? Reveal and draw, but lose life equal to cost. Isn't terrible. two are a bit boring. Yeah, I'm not really sure how you would use that, to be honest. Trying to think, I don't think there would be any way. I'm just thinking, is there some way to make this create tokens of itself that you can undemonize? And so you can use this to create things that will be able to be sacrificed by this to create more things and create a loop, but I'm not sure. There's your obligatory Vor slug. Right, that could be a really interesting proliferate. One of those decks. Is there any point in even reading the red ones? Probably not. Yeah, fair enough. It could be interesting. Could fuck you over though as well. Yeah, I saw this one as well before. I always hate cards that like take an extra turn. Probably gonna end up hating that card, but what can you do? First ability is essentially just a land, second one is completely useless to us. Third is once again useless. Sorry, Hans, is that? Yeah, no it is. I thought there was a what's it accent on the E, where it's creatures, but no, it's just a bit of Xiaomi monitor. That could be kind of interesting. I don't think it's worth adding to the deck, but interesting none the least. Okay, Okay, so normally vampires are either white or black. I can't remember very many red ones, so I was just looking to see. Is that really going to do out? But it might. That could be fairly interesting. It's at minimum you draw one card for every card that's in your hand. You know, you essentially draw a new hand, but you know, if you've already discarded shit, then it could be interesting. Obviously, we have nothing to sort of combo off for discarding, so that's essentially useless for us. It's a sorcery, so we couldn't do it at the end of the turn either. So in the Crow situation, we're probably not going to get much use. No, okay. Yeah, interesting blocker, but I'm not really too convinced it would be very useful. It would be interesting. It's just a shock tornado really, isn't it? But right, well that's a UI issue. That's a UI bug. That's distinctly not a red human. There's the obligatory 13. Yeah, nothing for us again, but I can see why it'd be useful. That's a bit more interesting, because that isn't just to, you know, a player, that's to anything. But blood tokens, I don't think are very useful. It's alright, but not a terrible card either. I mean, it would just be nicer if they added fetchlands into the game, but that could be fairly interesting, to be honest. With Yarok, exile 2 creatures, and every other creature is cast, you know, for 2 less. could be pretty good. Seems like a good card, but nothing for us again. Yeah, I can see why it would be useful, but not for us again. Could be interesting for us. Probably be more interesting in something with a lot more types of lands. You know, we don't really have any, like, artifact ones either, so... Okay, that seems rather fucking powerful. That and Nexus would be incredibly good for us. That might be worth putting, you know, 1 or 2 in the deck. That could be pretty good as well, let's be honest. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not really useful for us. Seems a bit overpriced, to be perfectly honest. Once again, that seems pretty decent. As always, the green ones are what I'm gonna say is decent. Probably gonna end up putting one of these in the deck, let's be honest. Then on to the probably the more interesting ones, the multicolored ones. These actually seem fairly decent. That seems really annoying, giving everything Death Touch. Never fun. I mean, it'd be alright for standard, but historic, you know. 'Cause, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not really useful for us. Then on to the probably the more interesting ones, the multicolored ones. The a 90 per session is always just going to be a bit better. The -6 seems fairly decent, but I don't think it's really worth adding it. Just don't really have much to say about half of them. They're just like, yeah, it's a magic card, it's not really good for us though. We don't really do much attacking with this deck though, is the only thing. Could be interesting, but could be actually pretty interesting. Especially once again when Nexus give everything vampires. So we've got a lot more legendary vampires to keep them around, but the treasure tokens in this set look pretty good. That could be one that would be interesting with a thing that doubles mill effects. This could be pretty interesting. So once again, more things that I fucking hope they make Vora of. I assume cast spells encompasses everything. I think. And last one. Nothing for us. would be interesting, but once again... Well, give me one of you. Sorry, what was it? Oh, it was you. Okay. Sorry, why? UI is fucking up again. Okay, don't ask me. I think that was everything we said was interesting, didn't we? So I'm just not going to waste the wild cards on those, to be honest. Right, okay. Oh, fuck you. Okay, I don't know why that didn't end the recording. I'll swap one of those out. I'm not sure why we only have one of those, to be honest. Sorry, two of those. So I'm gonna do that. As for the other ones, okay, I'm not gonna ask any questions. Oh, we might have to go through all of the lands as well, just have a look at them. I'll remove a reef for one of those, and do we not have any epicures left? I think we must have got rid of all of them. That's fair enough. No. Do that. So, save it. And then come back in. Sorry, we want to go lands. That one, fairly decent. I like the style of them. I'm not sure if the actual artwork is anything that interesting. So we got another Evolving Winds. Wild, sorry. This one looks very cool. I think that's one of the better artworks for that card, in particular. Plains I'm not really a fan of, it looks too dark. Island just looks like blue land. The swamp looks a bit too green. The mountain looks alright. And the forest looks alright as well, I guess. Do I want to swap that for one of the mountains that we have? No, I think I prefer all those. We might be able to swap out one of the forests. That's probably one of the weaker ones in terms of being a forest, but I like the sort of difference that it adds. That's also pretty weak. So is that. I think it looks a bit swampy, but yeah. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't count this, but we're gonna do that. And then stop it there.